to be tasting through some of the award-winning spirits that you can find at Top Shelf Las Vegas. I have with me today Amanda, who is co-leading our the planning and just making sure this event goes off without a hitch. She's incredible. You guys all know her. She's one of our favorite hosts. So welcome, Amanda.
Hello, thank you. I'm so excited to be here, excited to chat through Top Shelf Las Vegas and get the opportunity to showcase just a few of the awesome brands that will be at the event. We're going to have over 60 amazing brands to taste and explore this upcoming June 16th for the event that we're, as you mentioned, co-sponsoring with the Tasting Alliance. So I'm excited. It's an exciting time, and I'm even more excited to try some of these expressions with you today.
Yeah, absolutely. And all of the ones that we are tasting right now, and correct me if I'm wrong, all the spirits that you will find are gold and double gold winners from the San Francisco World Spirits Competition that's hosted by the Tasting Alliance. Is that correct?
You absolutely got it. So all of these spirits have that like extra stamp of approval here. So what the Tasting Alliance does, they host a series of competitions throughout the year with a blind judging panel. So no sneak peek on what they're trying, but it allows the judges to give a tried and true report on these spirits. So
Mm.
everything that will be showcased at Top Shelf has named the best of the best. We'll have we're gold and double golds, but those top of the tops will also receive awards at the event as well.
Yeah, that's incredible. And for people who are unaware, this is a completely blind tasting with some of the top people in the spirits industry. So we're talking very the like you talk about top of the top, the every single taster who's going in and who's judging these blind. They have been a part of the industry. They're some of the most respected and highly regarded people in our industry. So it's just we're talking when we say that they are gold and double gold winners, this is like exactly what you're saying. This is a stamp. You know that this is going to be a solid pick for you.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait. And if, for anyone who will be there as well in June, I certainly will be hopping around that tasting floor and exploring some of these brands, having some of those one-to-one conversations. So you'll catch me there too.
Amazing. I'm so excited about that event. And also, we are having starting today, we are having a flash sale. So if you haven't gotten Mother's Day, anything for mom for Mother's Day, this is the perfect opportunity. If you need something for Father's Day, it's Father's Day weekend. Heck, get your girlies. That's what I'm planning on doing.
Yeah.
And just going and having a weekend in Vegas tasting through all of these incredible spirits. And then also for the flash sale, it is a VIP 2-day pass that's 40% off. How incredible. And that includes master classes, correct?
You got it. You got it. So you'll have that more intimate experience with these brands. We'll have over 12 master classes, which will be granted to attend on both days, as Miranda mentioned.
Oh my goodness. This is going to be like the event of the year for me. I cannot wait. Well, speaking of tasting, why don't we dive into some of these incredible spirits? So, first, we're going to try a tequila.
Ooh.
Speaking of gold, look at this. This is so, I mean, everything about this just to me, the bottle itself, it stands out on your bar. That gold cap, you already know it's a winner. And this is 1800 is the Reposado, and this was a gold winner. So have you tried this one yet?
I have not tried this one, so I'm really excited. I've tried the Cristalino, which also is a gold winner and
Mm,
also will be
mm.
at the event as well. So I was like, you know what? I've tasted that a bit. Let's get something new. So I'm excited to try the Reposado today.
Oh my goodness. This one is one of my favorite reposados or repos. I just love everything about it. It's not chew in your face. It's very smooth. It to me has like a little bit of a butterscotch note, but let's get into it. I'm getting excited. Okay. Well,
Let's try it.
cheers.
Cheers. All right, that
Mm,
first sip to clear the palate,
hmm.
get used to tasting. All right. Mm.
But even that first sip, like I wanted to savor that first sip. It's so good.
I
Like
know, and
mouth
that's abnormal.
watering good.
Yeah,
Yes.
I will say the first thing that sticks out to me in this is the natural caramel tones. I mean, my goodness, it's almost like a melt in your mouth caramel. It's I mean, very smooth, very smooth.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me a little bit of like the Werther's caramels that you would just like
Yes,
sit and savor like for a little bit, just like
yes.
that exact like melt in your mouth, like oof, it's so good. It's very round and soft to me. Like when you're tasting it on your palate, it's not an aggressive, like in your face kind of taste. It's very soft, but then it opens up. Like it really is kind of almost like a flower in a sense in that as you are opening it up you're getting all of these like nuanced flavors, so as it's sitting on my palate I'm getting like honestly like orange slices, I'm getting maybe a little bit of like papaya notes, some tropical
Yes,
fruit notes,
yeah.
and then also just kind of going into a little bit more of like a baking spice as well, which is so delightful. Oh my goodness.
I agree. I agree. And along with those like baking spices, I'm almost it's turning into like that baking spice is getting turning into like a bit of smokiness that just
Mm.
that glides on the palate or just continues to remain there. That's interesting as well.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. This one is a winner for me. One of my favorite tequilas. I'm so thrilled that you get to try it now.
So good. And I have to say too, for anyone at Top Shelf, they will 1800 will also be participating in our master classes. So actually, Proximo Spirits, who owns 1800 as one of their brands, they'll be showcasing a few of their different Cristalinos through a master class. So definitely be sure to take advantage of that VIP ticket to experience that.
Oh my goodness. So exciting. And for those of you who want to be able to purchase those VIP tickets, we'll be posting that link on all of our social channels right after this show. So you'll have plenty of opportunity to be able to take advantage of that 40% off flash sale. So
Awesome.
um, speaking of favorites, okay, let me tell you, this is for me one of my favorite, all-time favorite scotches. Highland Park 18, just everything about it. The bottle is stunning, first off. Look at all of that.
It's
How beautiful is
beautiful.
that bottle? Um, and just like the amount of detail, the intricacies, but honestly, the scotch itself is just so good. I'm a scotch gal myself. So
Okay.
I love single malts. I love blended scotches. You name it, I'm drinking it. And so for me, this 18 year is just for me the epitome of like what I'm looking for in a scotch and a single malt, especially. So have you had this before?
No, I have been so excited. So when I knew that this was one of the brands that would be there, I was so excited. I've obviously heard amazing things from the Reserve Bar team, then obviously the Tasting Alliance team, but also just a ton of rating sites. So I am really eager. No, and it actually
Yeah,
took a lot for me not to pop it open before this, but I need to give my honest and true opinion here.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's so hard for me. Like I've been sitting here and just like staring at the bottle, and every night I'm like, can I have a dram? Can I have a dram? No, I cannot. So I'm so thrilled that we finally get to be able to taste it. This is probably this was actually my birthday dram this year.
Oh,
So every year I get something that's a little bit special for me, and so being able to do Highland Park. And we actually did a flight of it. It was just so incredible being able to taste through all their expressions. So definitely one of the most highly regarded Scotch brand single malt brands, and you will be able to taste them at the event. So if you are unsure, if you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to drop that money for this, first off, yes, you do. But secondly, now you'll definitely want to be able to try them, and you can try through the expressions and be able to see what all the hype is about for yourself.
I love it. All right,
Oh
on to the
man,
nose. You know what? If not to be rude, Miranda, but as you were talking, I was also sniffing. And you know what's
yeah,
interesting to the nose? I get. Well, I say I just said this with the 1800 to the taste, but the smokiness is not what I like. The first thing I noticed on the nose, but not the smokiness that you get with a mezcal or sniffing a mezcal, but just like a very subtle smokiness to the nose, which I find to be intriguing here.
yeah, and I think that's like Highland. Honestly, Highland Park is one of the ones that I recommend to people who maybe say that they don't like Scotch. Maybe they're used to those peat bombs, like maybe they've had like a very intense Islay, like
Yes.
peat monster type thing. and that's their only experience with single malts. No, they are very, there's a huge variety, just like bourbons. Every bourbon, you can probably taste a little bit of nuance in it. And depending on where you're at in Scotland, there's going to be even just some local flavor to it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I'm getting here, just that very light smoke. It's not going to be super peaty. It's not going to be like, I don't know if you can see like my Octomore up here.
Yep.
That one, it's not going to be like that. So this is
Yeah.
going to be just a very light smokiness, very getting like some, again, baking spices that you would expect from a barrel, but also some fruit notes like cherries, like stone fruits.
Yes, I definitely am getting those stone fruits. I was gonna say, yeah, like dried cherries is what I'm getting very heavily on them.
Mm, mm. Oh my
Delicious.
goodness. Okay, have you? Yeah, have you
All
tasted it
right.
yet? Let's do it.
Mm. Okay, so now, wow, that's a shocker to me. The nose to the taste is so different, but also brings that holistic palate there. So what I get on the palate is a strong, like I'm getting honey. I'm getting a beautiful honey tone
Mm.
there. And it's just very soft. It's extremely soft.
Yes. Smooth would probably be one that people use. Maybe that's a
Mhm,
characteristic that gets
mhm,
overused, but this is definitely a very smooth scotch. It's one that you can
mhm.
sit. To me, it can be a winter sipper like most whiskeys, but it's also to me a really great summer sipper
Yes.
because it is so soft. It is going to be one that you can sit and drink on a hot summer day, and that is just, I mean, chef's kiss.
Wow.
Um, and so, gosh, I love the complexity here. I'm also getting like some sea salt notes, like sea salt
Mm,
caramel, that little bit of salinity that you might expect from a single malt. But man, just as it sits on your palate, you're just getting even more. Like I'm getting some more earthy tones, maybe like a
yes.
little bit of grass, and just gosh, now I'm going in for
There's
another
so
little
much
sipper.
depth. There's so much depth to it. I really,
Mhm.
that's one thing I definitely have to notice that as you just sit with it, I mean, it changes. The flavor
Yeah.
just continues to change. You get, I mean, I know this sounds pretty vague, but you almost get like a little bit of everything, which is so interesting to this. This is great.
Yeah, if you're looking at a flavor wheel, I feel like you absolutely would be able to hit most of the
Yes.
major notes of the flavor wheel with this single malt. So definitely, again, one of my favorites. It's a gorgeous bottle, one that you could have just displayed like, right here
It looks so good.
and showcase it. And then as soon as anyone who knows single malts, anyone who knows whiskey, as soon as they see it, they're gonna be like, you have great taste. So
Yep. There you
I
go.
love it.
You can impress.
Yep, absolutely. And again, this one I believe is a double gold winner. So so good. So oh my goodness, one of the best.
After tasting it, I'm
Um,
not surprised at all. Not surprised.
yeah, absolutely. And again, you can be able to taste this at Top Shelf at our tasting event coming in June. Again, Mother's Day. I know that a lot of people they don't think of mom liking whiskey, but I'm here to break that mold. A lot of women love whiskey, and so this is absolutely such a great gift for you to be able to give your mom. Hey, mom, come taste some of the 60 best spirits in the world right now.
Absolutely.
So
And to your
for
point, Miranda, we'll have a little bit of something for everyone, which is great.
mhm.
Like, yes, we're showcasing these three awesome brands today, but 60 plus brands at the event, anywhere from wine to beer and RTDs to whiskey and gin. So
Sake, oh my goodness.
it's everything in between, So I'm really excited about the wide scope that we can really cover any taste bud there.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone, there's something for everyone at this event for sure.
There you go.
Um, Speaking of something for everyone, this is probably one of my favorite bourbon brands, and I'm going to tell you why. It is, first off, their first expression came out, it's a lot of people's very first experience with bourbon. And so they introduced it, and honestly, it was such a solid product from the get go. And then Ian and Paul, if you know them from Vampire Diaries, came out with a cast strength option and they just released a rye, which we're going to taste the cast strength and the rye today. And both of these, they continue to get better and better. And they are so involved with their product. Like you look at Ian and Paul's social media and you can see how passionate they are about it, how passionate they're about not only how good the flavor is, but also just the regeneration that they're using. They're using regenerative measures
Mm.
to combat climate change to have the sustainable whiskey, and just everything about it. You can just like taste, like honestly, you can taste their passion in this. And so, if you watch Vampire Diaries, you know that the brothers were whiskey drinkers. I've watched every single episode, so I am a super fan. But I made my husband watch it with me, but I we drank Brothers Bond while we were watching it. So, he got a reward through that. But the brothers, that's like a big point, is that they were always drinking bourbon, and that is a huge plot point. They drink tea on this show, fun fact, because obviously they can't drink bourbon all the time while they're
Yeah,
shooting. But because of that, and because they became such great friends, they then started this incredible brand that has given us three incredible expressions. So I think we should dive in with the cast strength first and then try the rye.
that sounds
What do you think?
perfect. That sounds absolutely amazing. And Miranda, I know since you're in the fan club, we have to get some petitions out there to get Paul and Ian over to Top Shelf.
Yeah.
Get them explaining the brand a bit more. But no, but in the meantime, as Miranda mentioned, at least we'll have the cask strain featured as well as the new rye. So a first peek or a first taste, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, the cast strength, both of them have won. I believe the rye has recently won gold, and the cast strength was also a gold winner. So both of them not only have the stamp of approval of the super fan, but they also have the stamp of approval again of this highly elite set of judges who are blind tasting this. So there's no bias that's going into it. All they get are just these Glencairns with a little number on them, and so that's all that they get. No, nothing else. And these judges have come in and said, this is the best of the best. So I mean, honestly, like when you talk about celebrity spirits, this is probably one of my favorite ones. And so just, and again, their passion, you can see it in every single dram that you're pouring. So
Ugh,
um okay, have you
let's
ever
go
had the
for
cast
it.
strength? Let's do it. Mm,
Oh, caramel and vanilla
right
scream
off the bat.
right off the bat.
Right off the
Wow. Oh my goodness. It is, Miranda, it's delicious.
bat.
Oh my gosh.
I'm getting like a cherry vanilla with the cast strength.
Mm-hmm.
It honestly, like every time I taste this one, I want to drink a dram and then I want to make an old fashioned. That is like the
Yes.
the
This
series of
would be
events that I would like to go. Yeah.
perfect for an old fashioned. I don't know if this is okay, so this might be far fetched, but I'm getting a bit of nuttiness that's almost reminding me of like a trail mix. So that like combination of that nut and the fruit, it's very much giving me like a trail mix in the
Hmm.
most beautiful way.
Oh my goodness, you're right.
Mm.
Yes.
And then the lovely
I
spice finish. I mean, that you would
yeah.
typically get, but I mean, wow. And to your point, Miranda, I did want to showcase the bottle here too, just because, as you mentioned, there's just so much love that goes into the spirit and so much passion into the brand. And when I received the bottle as well, I was just shocked at how beautiful it is, just how much detail. I mean, it's hard to see on here as well, but that was something that impressed me as well. And you could just tell that they thought about it, they put themselves into it, and it felt like a them bottle.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've even updated the bottle. So I have that one somewhere in my collection. I have the original cast strength with the medallion, but they just recently updated the bottling as well. And so now you
Amazing!
have this hang tag with this like leather cord, and I love the little
How
details
cool!
like that. And then on it, they also talk about they have the Brothers Bond Oath, and there's a little QR code that I highly recommend that you scan and check out, because like again, like we talk about how big they are, about sustainability, and that's exactly what they're talking about is the regenerative agriculture that I was telling you about earlier. So, and then like just their little signatures, I love
I
it. Oh
love
my
that.
goodness, I love every single detail about it. They're honestly like Ian and Paul. They're so fun. They've been on a couple of virtual tastings with us in the past, and you can just see like they're so excited about everything that they're doing, and so I love it. Lori, I see your comment saying, I wish I was tasting each of these with you. And we wish that you could taste them with us too. So come to Las Vegas and then we can
Yes.
all taste them together.
Absolutely. And to your point
Exactly.
too, Miranda, about Vegas, Brothers Bond will also be hosting a masterclass. So that is another, again, opportunity to get sort of one-to-one, a little bit more intimate with the brand in a room that
Hmm.
fits no more than 50. So although you can, experience them during the tasting, take advantage of that opportunity to get one-to-one with this brand and so many other brands that will be doing the same at Top Shelf.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my goodness. Well, speaking of the brand, Brothers Bond actually just released a new rye, and this has quickly become one of my favorite ryes. This was one where I did sneak a peek. I couldn't resist. As soon as I got the bottle, I was like,
Good.
okay, I gotta try it. And so I think this one is just again, we're talking about the details, just the love and care that's put into it. There's a little bit of a story back here. And then again, they have that hang tag with a little bit more information on it. And so definitely this is one, it's brand new this month. So it has not been out very long, but it's already winning awards. And so I'm so excited that they're doing this. It's a blended rye. um, let's taste it. I'm super
Uh,
excited. And
mm, wow. Okay. So interesting enough. So I enjoy that we're tasting these simultaneously, or personally, I'm getting the opportunity to try the rye right after.
mhm.
The traditional tones of the or of a rye, that more peppery, that more that spice that you would naturally get, but it still tastes tried and true to Brothers Bond, which I
Yeah.
love, and I only know that after tasting them back to back. But I find that to be very interesting. Wow.
Yeah. And I think, so I love rye. You can see I even have some Sagmore rye right
Hmm.
here. And so rye is one of my favorite whiskey expressions, but it also can be so hard to do well. And the reason why is because it's very, very easy for you to go way too far on the pendulum with that spice note,
Yes.
where it's almost undrinkable.
Yep.
And this to me is just they've done an incredible job of bringing in those very spicy rye notes, but also balancing it out with other notes. One of the interesting notes I get here that I don't get with a lot of ryes is a floral note. Like it
Hmm.
tastes, I'm getting like jasmine. I'm getting, I don't know,
Oh, that's
like some
interesting.
honeysuckle, right?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, honeysuckle. Yes. Yeah. That is very interesting, Miranda.
So again, this is why I love Brothers Bond. They make approachable whiskeys.
Hmm.
This is something where like if somebody was saying, "Hey, I would like to try rye, but I've never had a rye before," I would maybe start them with this
Yes.
and say, "Hey, this is going to be a rye that I think that you'll like, and it's not going to be too in your face. This is something that we can absolutely make in a cocktail, and it's still going to shine. It'll still stand out." Like sometimes, like you'll get some whiskeys that are a little bit lighter in flavor, and they get lost, especially when you throw things like vermouth at them.
Mm,
This is going to be one where you can make a Manhattan and you'll still be able to taste some of the flavor notes of Brothers Bond, but it's not overpowering on the palate if you try it by itself, if you do a
yes.
neat pour.
That is, you hit the nail on the head. Oh my goodness. Now I'm like, gotta get this in a cocktail for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
that sounds phenomenal. But that you're so right that that pure taste would still flow right through, and wouldn't be outshined.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is one, like both of these, I do recommend that you do kind of like a tasting,
Yeah.
um, almost like a tasting experience with them. So I would start, tasting them neat, adding a little bit of water or pouring it over an ice cube.
Yeah.
From there, you'll be able to have both of these whiskeys will open up a whole lot for you. And you'll be able to taste even more flavor notes that you weren't experiencing on the neat side of things. Um, and then and then turn it into a cocktail. So for me, an easy way to do this is to do an old fashioned. So especially with the cask strength, you just kind of take your dram, right? And for me, I have my little old fashioned glass. This is our reserve bar one. The ice has melted a little bit, so I'm going to drink the water. Don't judge me.
Well, while you're doing that, we'll also have those glasses at Top Shelf, so stop by for our
Yeah,
merch.
perfect. And then I'll just pour it over. So, and then I'll try it, with the ice, let it chill for a second, and then try it over ice.
Mm.
And then I do a quick and dirty old fashioned because, I'm I measure with my heart sometimes when I do my old fashions. I just say, okay, I want like, 4 or 5 dashes of bitters. I want just a splash of simple. Hey, we're good.
They say
So
that's the smarter way to do it, Miranda. So
yeah.
you're good.
Smarter, not harder. But yeah, I think that is just the beauty of an old fashioned is that you can make it however you want.
Yeah.
And so for me, like I sometimes will measure with my heart and say, okay, yes, I want a little bit more simple here because I think I'll balance the flavors of the whiskey a little bit better. So that's a really great thing about making cocktails at home is that you can basically make the recipe to your specs. You're not having to rely on somebody else to do it. Absolutely, these bartenders out there, though, I will say that as a previous bartender, like having that knowledge is super helpful to be able to get you started. But for things like an old fashioned, make it at home with simple syrup and a couple of dashes of bitters, and you can make a Brothers Bond old fashioned exactly the way that you like it. But also, Brothers Bond has a ton of recipes. So if that is not your thing, if you're not into old fashions, they have like a Mystic Charmer cocktail. So for all you
Ooh.
you Vampire Diaries fans, you will understand that reference. And they're just so passionate. So
Oh, I love
I'm
it.
I love I loved every single one of these. All of these are winners in my book already.
Yep.
And oh my goodness, I don't mean to cut you off. I was just like super excited just thinking about Top Shelf and just like how amazing of an experience it's going to be. Like this is really just like the premier event of the year. Just being able to come in and say, I want to try all of these. Like even things like we didn't taste today, like Sassenach. Like all of you Sassenach fans, come on down. You'll be able to taste the gin. You'll be one of the
Yes.
first people to be able to taste the gin.
I
Um,
know.
and
I received that
and
email, Miranda, and I was like, "Oh, first at Top Shelf. All right. Well, glad I'm there." So yes,
yeah,
to Miranda's point, there's so much more that will be there beyond this, and it's a once in a lifetime experience. Where this is our inaugural event, but we will be hosting this yearly, and it will give us an opportunity to showcase new brands each year, those up and coming brands that might have won that have snuck in, and also too, some brands that you might not know. So I think that's the best part
hmm
about it. Explore those brands that you love, get one to one with them, but also take a look at some brands that you may have never heard of. You might find your new favorite.
I love that. Yeah, exactly. You'll never know what you'll find, especially when you're out on the tasting floor. Just take advantage of it. And again, for those of you who missed it in the beginning, we are hosting a flash sale on our Top Shelf event for 2 days VIP. You get 40% off. And we'll be sharing that link after the event. So you'll be able to buy those tickets and we'll be sharing throughout the weekend. So or if you are unsure and you miss those links on social, don't worry. If you go to our Top Shelf event page, you'll be able to find it on our ticketing site as well.
Awesome. We're gonna find you somehow. You'll find it.
Yes, you'll find
No,
it.
we
Don't
really do.
worry.
We'll find you. No, we really do hope that you all will enjoy will join us there. It'll be an amazing event. It's I have to say too. If you're joining us virtually or have previously, what a great experience to take this and what you've participated in previously to an in person experience. So what
Mhm.
you're getting out of these virtual experiences, we'd love to meet you in person and have this similar experience there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so excited for this event. I cannot wait for it to come around. And I know Amanda, like I do have to give you a shout out just publicly because you have been working so hard to make this happen. So just a huge cheers to you because Top Shelf just wouldn't be here without you. So thank you so much.
Thank
You're
you.
an incredible host as always.
This has been a pleasure and can't wait. More to come.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye,
Have a
everyone.
good
Have a great
one.
day.
Bye.